Even more.
And I have exactly the side I don't like.
Now we can't see you. You see here? You're too far away. You have to
I
come
know.
near me.
I can't. I can't. Can we
Beautiful there.
switch?
Yes, I need the control panel. I can do the
Oh,
control from here
no.
better.
Okay. Well,
Look, we take a second, breathe. Really be very, very good. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Dear friends
hello.
and colleagues, welcome to Prelude once more. Prelude is an interview series produced by Atelier for educational purposes. The current episode is supported by the dynamic online music platform and community of the aspiring opera singers, and I am very happy to have Miss Alejandra Sandoval, its founder, with me today. Hello, Alejandra.
Hi, good morning, Maria. I am so excited to be here, and I can't wait for everyone to learn about our amazing guest today.
Thank you. I'm looking very much forward to it too. So, speaking about our amazing guest of today, after having to postpone last Sunday and encountering some technical issues, which unfortunately, sorry, we also encountered today. That's why we took some minutes to settle. I would like to present our honorable guest of today, the long-awaited soprano with an international career on the world's greatest stages and acclaimed mentor, Miss Adina Nitescu.
Hello, everybody.
Let's fix the camera, Miss Nitescu, so that
Okay. Which way should I go?
we are very lucky to
That
be at the
looks
same
great.
place. We just have to figure out how the camera is working. Would you be so kind as to come a little bit closer to me?
Yes. Oh, I thought I can. Okay. Good. Well, let's hug then.
Up close and personal.
Closer
I have to see.
cannot be. Okay.
Exactly.
Better?
Very good. Very good.
Good.
Thank you
We-
for being so flexible and
well.
cooperating with us so well.
It's a pleasure.
It's so exciting to see both of you so close, like in the
Yeah,
same
that's
room and
nice.
all.
It's actually the first prelude after the pandemic slowed down a little bit that can happen like this. So it's actually a blessed one, a
Yeah.
very lucky one.
We're lucky. Maybe it was good that it didn't work.
Yeah. We came closer in this way. Anyway, I'm really also happy to have you, Alejandra, because we make a bridge through the United States and Europe, and that's something that we aim to do through Atelier d'Excellence. So it's a very nice occasion that we can all be together. Without further ado, because I guess that everybody's looking very much forward to get to know you better, I would like to go back in the past and remind you that in a past interview, when you were in Denver, in Colorado, if I'm not wrong, you said that becoming an opera singer was what you were destined to do in your life. How did all lead you to where you are today?
Oh my God, that happened actually before my birth, because I'm coming of a very musical family. My aunt and my uncle, they're violinists, and my mother still has a gorgeous voice and a very strong personality, made for stage, in my opinion. And she always wanted to become an opera singer because a lot of things came in the way. It didn't happen, but this fire in her, probably she just passed it on to me. So when I came on this world, everybody said she's going to be a singer. She's going to be a singer. Okay, good. And my mom told me that I think I was three years old. I made a declaration and I said, I'm going to be an artist. Very serious. So, of course, everybody laughed except my mother because she knew that I will be a singer. I don't know why. Here is, the beginning. Then I have to say that I was very lucky because my brother, I have a brother, also studied
Violin.
violin. Sorry,
Mm.
too many languages in my head. Um, so my uncle lived for a while with us because he was a student in an academy, and we had lullabies, Scriabin and Paganini and Bach and all those things. So yeah, that was great. A good start, I think.
Since you were mentioning the music influences you had at home, I guess at that time in Romania, in the older times, it was a difficult era, but at least you had very strong education and a lot of good music at home, I think.
Yes, we had really either it was nothing or everything. In the communist time, we didn't have hobbies. We didn't have time to go like here. For example, nowadays you go to the school and then you like music, then you go to a music school and do it for your education. Not necessary to become a musician, but it's education for every person should be actually. So we had I had we had in Romania and in Bucharest a very specialized school which took from the first class until the last, the 12th, music. So it was the whole day music, normal school in the morning, and in the evening, in the afternoon was music. So
Yes, hard work pays off from a young age, I guess, from what you are telling us.
yeah, I know every artist probably went through this, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of, all my colleagues and my friends were playing outside, and I had to do arpeggio and gamma and piano because the next day I had to play and learn the theory or whatever. Yeah, but it was beautiful. I wouldn't change it.
Great. It seems
That
like a
is so
fascinating
beautiful.
time, Alejandra, right? The beginning of
Yes.
everything. I think I should give you the second question because by accident I took your first one.
No worries. It's okay. I was reading ahead. So I was wondering, as a young artist, you won several prizes in many prestigious competitions, such as the Belvedere and the Pavarotti competition. Also, you were a member of the opera studio in the Bavarian State of Opera in Munich. And I was wondering, how did these experiences help your career? And of course, I'm asking too as myself, how can emerging artists develop more skills to make the most out of these opportunities?
Of course, winning a competition is very helpful and it's a very strong start, but it's not all. I mean, it's very not easy to get there, but it's easier to get there than to maintain it, first of
Mhm.
all. Then it's very important for singers, for young musicians also, to go perfectly, if we can say that, prepared. This is the foundation of success. Of course, it's not everything. It's you need luck. You need the I don't know the right atmosphere, the right jury, the right everything. Um, but you have to be very well prepared because the level is very high. And nowadays, more and more, we have more singers. They come from everywhere. Now we don't have the boundaries. We don't have no stop. So they can, it's global.
Mhm.
So you have to be the best or try to be the best to be able to do that. Then you definitely need to know how to choose the right repertoire. a lot of young singers get tempted by the temperament, by the music, by the I want to do this. I always wanted to do this, and they, if they are lucky, they have a teacher who says, okay, take it easy. You can do it later. Wait, you have to develop. As I fortunately had, I remember how my teacher Georgeta Stoleriu from the Romanian Academy, my mentor, actually, she was the one who built my career, who built everything, and helped me to also develop my personality and everything. She always said, "Not yet. No, you're not going to sing this. You're going to sing this, and you're going to do this first, and then you're going to do this first, and you start with this." So I was, oh my God, when do I do that? When do I get to do this? When do I get to sing this aria, Leonora, and whatever I wanted, and Aida, and. So repertoire is absolutely important. Then one should not hold back on the repertoire in the competition in the first and the second round, because you think, okay, I have this aria and then I have this one, and the best one I keep it for the final. Yes, but you have to get to the final first. Mm-hmm. So of course, if you are a good singer and you have a good performance, is wonderful, but sometimes arias are more effect. One aria can achieve more for you than another one. So it's very important to know which aria and which round to put to be interesting enough. Then winning the competition is wonderful, but it's the first step. You have to get in contact with agencies, with casting directors. For example, all the competitions have in a jury casting directors, or some singers of renommee and who can help with suggestions or even recommendations or of all kind. So network is very important for a singer, and also the right agency.
Also, sorry if I'm interrupting you, but we've seen, Alejandro, many opera singers that have not won prizes, but they have been offered contracts because someone heard them there and he said, or she said, okay, she didn't win a prize, but she's a gorgeous talent. And they get jobs like that.
Absolutely. It's when I went to the Belvedere, actually, I want, of course, every singer goes to a competition with a hope to win. Yeah.
It's actually just took place right now.
Yesterday,
2 days ago, yeah.
Yesterday, and I am very eager to find out who won, and because I know some of the singers.
There were 3 men, if I'm not wrong. Alejandra, you're very well informed. I know the first one was, I think, the first countertenor ever to win this competition as the first prize, and he's American. So congratulations.
Wow, great.
I'm sorry that I don't recall his name. I'm sure we're going to know his name very well in the next years.
Oh, yeah,
an incredible singer. And another question, since Alejandra touched the opera studios, when you go to the opera studio, do you still have time and opportunity to learn, or you have already to be at a very high level and develop some more artistic aspects of your personality, not the technical ones, let's say, more simple?
The opera studio is not a school. Opera studio is the young section, so to say, of a big opera house. So you have to be already almost ready. You have to you get there opportunities. You have the chance to have coaching with professional pianists for free.
Mm-hmm.
You get the chance to work maybe with big names of the opera. I had, for example, the luck to work with Astrid Varnay, and I will never forget that she told me, if you sing the heavy repertoire, you need 72 hours between the between the performances. And she was damn right. You need to rest if you have heavy performance. And nobody knows that. There, of course, the times are changing, and we don't have the time. And more and more, we even have two rehearsals, big rehearsals the same day, which is very dangerous and actually not so good. Theater directors, theater managers, please forgive me, but that's
a
true
big discussion, actually.
I'm not gonna go deeper than that, but yeah. It is you get the chance to be on stage with very high level singers. So it for me was a I'm looking for the word, a motivation to get even better and to try to get to that. Of course, not that level maybe immediately, but to be there and be proud that I could be part of the cast. But for me, the most beautiful and important thing Heirische Staatsoper Young Artist Program brought was my husband. Because I met him there, and actually it was the only time that we sang together in a production.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah, we'll go back to that later.
Yes, we are going to devote the whole part of today's interview about how important it is to have such a partner. Alejandro, your next one, please.
Of course. So actually, before I go to that, I wanted to ask, as you were talking about your experience and the expectations once you get to that level of singing so much and maybe even having multiple rehearsals, maybe not in one day, but throughout the week, I wanted to ask you for any tips that you would have for taking care of your voice and taking care of your instrument itself for not being exhausted by the time the performance comes.
For me, it was rest, sleeping a lot, not talking too much, no party, no alcohol, a lot of no's. No, this, no, that. I know everybody was, you go home again. I said, I'm very sorry, guys, but this is my job and I have to take care. That's on the top of, discipline, voice, routine, always vocalizing. I never sang without making my warming up, because it's not a weakness, how maybe some people think. It's just like for sportlers, it's the warming up. You don't go and lift 300 kilos without warming up your muscles, because then you might get in trouble, even if you are the best in the world. So this is very important, actually.
A little warming up or a lot?
Not too much, then you get tired. I don't think that more. It depends. I don't want to talk for anybody else, but I think that 30 minutes should be okay. It depends how much you sing in that 30 minutes. If you make 2 minutes of vocalize and then you 5 minutes or 10 minutes of break, you need longer, of course. But it's singing. Take it easy. Everybody feels when the voice is warmed up. Actually, it's something from type to type, from voice to voice, from person to person.
Yes, thank you so much.
And for the answer. Thank you. Now we are going to speak about an important milestone in your career, which was when you debuted the dramatic role of Manon Lescaut at Glyndebourne Festival. Until now, you had, mostly very lyric repertoire, Mozart and Rossini, Gounod, for example. And we would like to hear from you. Which vocal technique elements were those that helped you accomplish the switch between lyric and more dramatic?
I didn't go from lyric stuff directly to the dramatic. I went step by step. Mozart, yes, but I did Don Anna, which is kind of tough. Everybody thinks it's always piano and it's no mi dir, but they forget that the first aria, for example, or Sai chi l'onore, chi l'onore, has another aria, which is called, of course, it's a recit, but that recit, if you don't do it carefully and if you don't graduate your feelings and also coming with that the intensity and the voice, then you come dead already after that recit into the aria. So it's a step towards more. Of course, I started with the Countess and Fiordiligi, and so then I had Gounod. Gounod is tough.
Marguerite, if I'm
Yes.
not wrong. Yeah.
You everything is wonderful and lyric, but the orchestra is not so thin. And if you think of the cathedral scene and of the final trio, for example, you can make it. You have to. It's a very dramatic page. So everybody looks in the beginning and, oh, that's okay for me, no problem. And nobody looks at the end where you're already a little bit tired. So you have to be careful. Then I did Bohème. Bohème is a step, the first step to the Puccini, which is heavy repertoire. One should not sing too much Puccini, actually, or without singing other stuff before. And I must say that when it came, the Manon Lescaut, first I thought, oh my God, should I do it? But I always think that we have to be careful, but always from time to time to kind of try to reach our limits, to see, am I ready to go further? Am I not? Can I make it? I was like that I went through the whole part. Of course, to learn it first. I went to the whole part first, and then I knew if I can do it, if I can sing it once without being dead at the end, then go for it. So it was not such a sudden change in my repertoire. And it's, of course, the technique. And you should never try to... it's a temptation. You should never try to... And you should never think, oh, my God, this dramatic, I have to make big voice. No, one should always sing with their own voice, because when we push, we lose volume. We lose beauty of the voice. We lose a lot of the quality of the voice. Nobody pushes because they want. It's something happens.
I think we have today's quote, Alejandra. Sing with your own voice.
Yes, absolutely.
It's so important. We singers are usually victims of imitation also. It has happened to me. You happen to know different mezzo-sopranos that I admire, and I try to sing like them, and it wasn't good for me.
Of course, it's...
So it's really important to sing with your own voice. Thank you for telling that to our people here today. And we are really looking forward to hear, Alejandra, about limits.
Yes. So I am so glad that you were mentioning knowing kind of when to test your limits, because that brings me to this next question really nicely, of knowing when to say no, because, well, we want to be aware of those limits, but also test them. So what would your advice be for singers that want to either take a risk or know when to say no?
Well, I think that every young singer has a mentor, has somebody to take care, so you need somebody to trust. First of all, to trust is very difficult, because it's a soul striptease, at teacher, you go and show what you cannot do, not only what you can. Because if the teacher doesn't see what you cannot do, cannot help you. So it's also a big step. You have to be honest with your with that what you think you of your voice, but it's difficult because sometimes singers, they have the wrong impression of the own voice. Either they don't have anybody to help them, or they don't listen, which is sad. So it's very often that they choose the wrong repertoire, or in the wrong moment. Usually it comes too early. It doesn't happen very often that they are, oh my God, completely in the wrong repertoire. It's also happening, but mostly is it too soon. So you have to test, you have to be honest. Can I do it? But not one aria. You have to go through the whole thing with a pianist. And if you still have voice after that and the next day, then you can tempt it. And of course, not at the Metropolitan. You should do it somewhere else where it's not so exposed.
Yeah, smaller places with less risk, probably.
Yeah, not so exposed. I mean, everybody started and somewhere, of course. Well, I was very exposed, but that was something else. It was a happy thing.
But not only all the people can take this. There are people who are more sensitive, for example, and they need steps in order to be able, to digest what is happening. And sometimes young artists come to Atelier and they ask us, should I do this or should I say no, because I am still not having done these steps and I'm really afraid of doing this that is offered that is a little bit bigger from what I have done. So I think that one should think their intuition. What do you think?
Yeah, but if you're afraid, then you shouldn't do it, because fear is going to it's not going to help. Fear is always going on the voice. Fear is here, and if we are not relaxed here, we cannot sing well. So we will push. First, cope with the fear, and then when you're ready to go, then go for it. It's better to go one step how do you say, in the repertoire. So if the heavier voice with a lighter repertoire, because nobody is going to say anything bad unless it's really too much difference. Then if you go with a lighter voice and a very heavy repertoire, they probably say it's not enough. It's beautiful, it's good, but it's not enough. So either you don't care because you think this is the path and now it's not enough, but later it's going to be. So I need to do that to see if it's working or not. Or you don't do it, you wait.
Yes.
It's gambling a little bit. It's a little bit of gambling.
It is. I have thought of that as well. I cannot hide you this thing, but it also has, this suspense has a beauty also.
Absolutely. No risk, no fun, no risk, no win.
Imagine the people who have to go every day in the office, and the office is the same, the window is the same, the pen is the same, the computer is the same. It's another type of life that for artists who are having a different personality, it's not enough maybe. I
don't think that any one artist can say that our life is boring. You can say anything else maybe, but not boring.
Your life definitely hasn't been boring.
No, I'm not talking about mine. I mean a life of an artist or a singer. This is anything else than boring or only routine.
Oh, exactly. There is so much change in a good way, I think.
Absolutely.
Which I think brings me to my next question, actually. Well, I love the idea of experiencing so many different roles, and you've done Mozart, Rossini, Puccini to Verdi, and so much more. Do you have a role that's closer to your heart or that has changed you as an artist?
Well, first of all, Fior di Ligi, because I sang with my husband. So
Oh,
that has a special place in my heart. I remember wanting Tosca because it's dramatic, because she kills Scarpia, because she does to do things that you don't do in real life, and you're not allowed, and a lot of forbidden stuff. And then, of course, I had to wait for the Tosca. And then I realized that actually Manon Lescaut, but even more Madame Butterfly, are much more interesting for me, because the character gets a transformation from the beginning, from the first act to the end of the opera. They go through a personality transformation, or through a becoming, from a child to a grown-up woman, from a spoiled young girl to a grown-up and very wise woman. And you have colors, you have feeling aspects, psychological aspects. Oh my God, my tongue doesn't listen to me.
Don't worry.
Aspects of a person, of a character, that makes it extremely interesting. And I must say that in so many performances I didn't count it, to be honest. Every single time I discovered something new, something else. And I think, anyway, one should never stop searching and for color, for new things, for another aspect, for another facet, another
face of it.
Yeah, face of a character, and not only musically, also dramatically, I think. So I would say Butterfly and Manon Butterfly is absolutely a one-woman show. I mean,
and Fior di Ligi, don't forget that.
Yeah, the Fior di Ligi has a place here.
But I think, Alejandra, that this is a characteristic of a great artist, to reconsider a role again and again, despite the fact that they have already sung it in La Scala and Metropolitan Opera, like Miss Nitescu. She has the humbleness to say that she reconsiders the details and she tries to find something new. It's like us, that we study an aria, for 9 years until we sing it in a competition, and it's the school where everything starts from. And this humbleness to see it in an artist like you, it's really very nice thing. It teaches us.
It's not only, I don't think it's also a matter of humble, it's just a matter of professionality, because if you stop learning, then you lost already. If you stop thinking that you have something to learn, we have to learn until we die. We should not stop learning something new, discovering something new.
I think Carla said, if I'm not wrong, that the only time where you are not going to be needing a teacher is in your grave.
Yeah, and she's right.
Quite gunkynol, but it's really true, probably. We stay a little bit in the atmosphere of the theater, and just to mention a few for those who are not aware where you have sung in La Scala, Opera de Paris, Metropolitan Opera, LA Opera, Atlanta, Dallas, just to mention very few. In which opera houses did you enjoy singing the most, and why? How does it count for you? How did you enjoy, and why did you enjoy most?
I think it would be unfair to choose one. I don't think I can choose one. For me, there is the stage. And it's like Dichter Halle, grüß ich wieder, yeah. It depends. It's the colleagues, it's the atmosphere, the stuff, the chemistry you develop, that it makes it special. Of course, the public, but the public is the public everywhere. If you reach them, you have to try to reach their hearts, and if you do that, then I don't think there is a difference. It's the people around, it's the people with whom you work. It's a team. It's not one person. I think that in a leading role, to be able to shine, you also need a teamwork. You need a beautiful atmosphere, and you need the collaboration. I felt well and happy and fulfilled everywhere where I got this atmosphere, and it was not only one theater.
Not only one.
No.
And probably it has to be, as you said, with the same respect to the audience in the smallest stage and in the bigger one.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with it. Absolutely. It's only the prestige that makes us be more afraid or humble or not. But stage is stage and public is public in the opera houses.
And maybe in the smallest stage, you get the chance to be heard by someone important.
Oh, absolutely. That's, oh, yes.
We heard many people at Prelude having this experience. We interviewed 30 artists until now, and around 15 of them shared experiences like that they were heard in unexpected moments, Alejandra.
You never know. That's absolutely something. It can always happen.
Oh, that is exciting and a little scary too.
Shouldn't be scary, but it is.
Mhm.
Because we want to do extra good and to be perfect. And I think that we should relax and think, I will do what I can do today, and I will do the best I can do today, and I will try to make it better every day. Because otherwise, if you put too much pressure, then you have problems happening, or you get too nervous, or you never know. So one should just calm down and sing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. In recent years, you became, Ms. Nitescu, a coach to both rising and acclaimed opera singers. Would you be so kind as to share with us what inspired you to take this decision, and what do you enjoy most in teaching these people?
Oh, yes. I remember that I was afraid with talking with my teacher and with my colleagues when I was very young about teacher or becoming a teacher, or what do you do, or what do you want to become, and so on. And I remember that I had a huge respect, because I thought it's an enormous responsibility. A lot can go wrong. How can I be responsible of the voice of somebody else? It's so fragile, and it's so subjective, and it's so abstract. It's not like 2 + 2 is 4 and that's it. You have to work a lot with sensation, with images, with imagination, with everything. So I said, I probably am not gonna teach my life. My teacher said, why not? Because I'm afraid. I don't know if I can say what to say. I was 19. And she said, you will know. And that was it. We didn't discuss anymore. Time passed. I was singing. I was, having my career and everything. And suddenly, to be honest, it's really like that. Suddenly I had the feeling I can help. I know how to explain. And I remembered my teacher. She said, you will know. I think this is a gift. to be teacher, to be a mentor, it has to be a passion. And I thought that my only passion after my husband is singing and being on stage. And I discovered my second one because there is nothing more fulfilling, more make me more happy than to see the happiness in the eyes of the young or experienced singers when a high C or a coloratura or a low note sits and it works and it's comfortable and it doesn't hurt. Oh my God, why didn't I do it? This is for me a huge joy to be able to develop, to help to develop the personality of an artist, the everything. It's not only vocal technique. I'm not teaching only vocal technique. I'm teaching interpretation. I'm teaching movement. I a teacher is not. I think it's the 50 or even more psychological therapy than singing, because if we're unhappy, we don't sing well. Happy singers sing better. For the already grown-up singer, for the already in the job singers, already known singers, is very important because they don't get so much help. Who goes and tells them, this high C was not so good? Nobody goes. Nobody dares to do that. And they don't know, if they don't have somebody to trust, it's difficult. Of course, you record and you listen to what you record, and that's how you work. But it's so good to have somebody there to trust and to tell you, and you don't have to have too much to think of. You get, you take care of this high C and the coloratura. You have to do this and cover that note to get la 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 la, and you do this and this and this, and it's much easier. So that's how actually it started, because I thought I can help.
Really beautiful. I just made the thought that probably with established people it should be more difficult, because these people have still to be going on with their work without losing their self-confidence by feeling like a student. So how do you approach them, would you say, with more detail psychologically?
They are not students. They are my colleagues, and I just it's an advice, and it's sharing experience, because a lot of them they came and said, how did you do it? Why do you do it like that? And how do you do that and how do you turn this? And so it's an exchange. They will never be students. They're not students anymore. It's very delicate. You can it's very delicate, of course. But in a way it's easy, because if they approach and they say, would you tell me this, or would you can we work on this and this, that, and then it comes along.
Great. We go back to the business, Alejandra, with the next question.
Yes. I feel like I'm asking all of the questions that I would want to know, and that makes me so happy. Because
you can answer all of them.
yes, I am so glad. Well, it is said, as you know, that to survive in this business, you really have to have a really strong stomach and a really thick skin, I would say. So I wanted to know, how did you deal with criticism, rejection, and what advice would you have for people that are maybe going through it for the first time and are going, oh my gosh, they told me no, should I quit, should I not?
Oh, definitely not quit. No. I don't think any singer, I mean, even Callas had to deal with criticism and rejection and everybody. It's so subjective. Its taste is, sometimes you have somebody singing like a god, and then some says, oh, I don't like. Well, why? I don't like it. Okay, then you cannot. What do? You cannot try and with arguments. It's a taste thing. I would definitely advise to filter. Criticism, constructive criticism is very necessary, and it's very helpful if it's done by people who understand what they're talking. Only to criticize because just like, I don't know, because you had a bad meal or you are in a bad mood, that disqualifies everybody. So we have to learn to filter this, to see who has something to say and can help me, and who just criticizes because didn't like the color of my hair. This is very important.
How do we develop the filter?
Look, when you are where you are, you earn that position. You know what you're doing. I mean, the theater hired you. You must have done something good if they hired you. So one should be a little self-confident, because it's not that you don't go there and sing because you have blue eyes. You have to sing. You have to know how to sing and to be on stage. Times are changing, and it's difficult more and more because of a lot of singers, much more singers than before. A lot of theaters closed. The budget is shrinking. The careers getting shorter because of that. The singers don't have the time to really develop their voices, to let them grow. They are almost thrown in the heavy repertoire. Temptation is big, so it's very difficult.
But when you are a little bit green, so you don't have the contract with the theater, so you don't have the Volkserlebnis, the recognition feeling to cover you with this protection, that at least you have a contract, so that you must have been hired for some reason. You are new, you are in your 20s, and people tell you, go do another job. You are not destined to be doing this thing. So having maybe a team, a very well-structured team that you trust, helps in this case, like teacher, stage director that you work with, diction coach, a very well-trusted team. Does this trust?
But if you are 20, if you are so young, and you have never been there, and you're rejected, then you don't have a team. You just have your teacher.
Mm-hmm. Your teacher,
teacher, and you have of course, the teacher is to support you for the musical part, for the singing part, and then you have your family or your partner to support you for the other rest. For the rest, it's if one person says this was not good, you go and try again. And if you have 2, 3, 4, 5 people telling you this and this is not good, you have to check. Maybe they're right. What can I do? What can I change? Of course, with the teacher, with the person you work, because you have to, at that age, you need somebody. If you're alone, then you probably are in trouble. It can happen that somebody says, oh, you go home, you have no talent, but usually if they say that, then maybe you should change the direction or the teacher.
And maybe it depends, as you said, how often you hear that.
Yes.
So you have to count, and you have to consider the critic, and then go.
And you get some more opinions.
Exactly.
It's not that you go to the doctor, and if it's something really bad that upsets you, you need another at least a second opinion. it's I don't know, a surgical intervention, and you have to take a big step. The first one who tells you you have to have your leg cut, oh my God, that's a shock. So let's see what the second says, and maybe the third. So
Absolutely, yeah.
you need other opinion and support, definitely.
Thank you very much. I would like to remind to the people who are watching us that Ms. Nitescu would be happy to answer to any questions you may have. So you now have a unique opportunity. Don't miss it. If you have something in your minds. Since we were speaking about support network, I will go to your husband, Ms. Nitescu. You are happily married for 28 years to internationally acclaimed bass Mr. Marcus Hollow. How did you meet each other, and how important family you believe is for an artist?
We met in Munich. We met in Munich in the opera studio. And yeah, it was, as I said earlier, it was the first and last time, actually, the only time that we were singing together on stage in the same production, which actually, if I'm thinking back now, was not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't have two nerve wracks in the same room. One had to sing and the other one supported. Mm-hmm. So we were support one for the other as far as it was possible, because a lot of times he was in Japan and I was in Europe, or mm-hmm. the other way around, and we were very much apart.
And without video calls at that time.
Oh, the astronomical phone bills.
I believe you.
Because for me, it's an email. It's not enough. I have to hear his voice. We were talking really for hours on the phone. So the mobile phones were just coming out. So you can imagine it was not like today with internet and everything, and you can do anything you want, and if you have internet. It was really tough. It's for me, it's the most important thing. I could not imagine actually being married to not being married to an artist, because we have the same rhythm, we have the same understanding,
mindset,
understanding for this job. It's not that you get, it's completely another rhythm. If you have for example a performance until 11 or 23 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And at midnight, you're definitely not going to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning next time. Definitely not. So imagine you have a partner who has to get up at 7 and expects breakfast from you. It's not possible. It's just not possible, because it doesn't work. The throat doesn't work. My throat wouldn't work. I could sing without food. I could sing with a lot of things, but not without sleep.
In today's society, everybody can make their breakfast on their own, I think.
Of course. But you have no idea how many.
Absolutely. But it's also important, I guess, to have someone to support you in your stressful moments when you have a performance and you're out of yourself. And people outside cannot understand, probably.
Absolutely, yeah, or not in the same way. Maybe they can understand. I have a lot of colleagues. They are married with non-musicians. It's not this, but they got to see how we live, and then they try their best. But it's not here in the stomach. You feel it. You know it. You just know it. I think that the partner, my husband, is my rock, and the partner, the family, is the support in very, our career is our career, our métier, our profession. Thank you. Our profession is not. It's very often challenging and lonely. Nobody thinks how lonely we are, actually. Everybody thinks only of the glamour part, which is there and it's beautiful and it's necessary. But a lot of the part of a production is loneliness. You go after the performance, not every single time you go out and have dinner and drinks and whatever with the colleagues. No, you just go into your apartment or hotel or whatever and rest and prepare. And it depends how much time you have between the performances. It's lonely, and you would love to have your family with you, but it's not possible, or not always possible. So I think this is this is what keeps the balance and kept me going all the time. One career is wonderful, but at a certain point ends. And
Yes.
yes.
Finishes, yeah.
And then you are with whom? Alone. So this perspective also can make you I don't know if it's a panic, or can make you really very nervous that you have only your job, only your singing, and when this doesn't work anymore, you're lost.
I think that's a very wise thing, because the pandemic has proven to all of us how you are lost. Singers in America, for example, when I was at that time, lost their jobs in a night. No information what is going to happen. They didn't work for almost 2 years and a half. And many of them, Alejandra and I know we have common friends, they started working on other things, as I started working to create Atelier d'Excellence, and I found at least a very nice, occupation to keep me energetic and active and creative. Otherwise, we would have turned crazy, I think, right, Alejandra?
Oh yes, well,
Oh, absolutely.
COVID story didn't help at all.
Yeah, it was hard, but we hope that if we are all responsible, we will very soon leave it back. Yeah.
Yes, let's hope for that.
Let's not speak about this gentleman, Mr. COVID, today.
No. Absolutely not.
The next question belongs neither to Atelier or to aspiring opera singers. Belongs to Music Matters with Jason Trum, who unfortunately is not able to join today, but we had planned initially our interview the previous Sunday with him. So I kept this beautiful question from Jason, and I will make a change. And since Alejandra is in the US, I would like her to read this one, if she is okay. Thank you, Alejandra.
So, how has the opera industry changed in your tenure? What do you see are the challenges of the next generation of singers? Oh, this is a great question.
Yeah, it's really a very interesting question. It changed. I said, I already mentioned before, the more and more we have more and more singers, because we don't have the frontiers anymore, so everybody can go anywhere, which is beautiful. But we have less theaters. The budget is going down. In critical situation, is the first to be cut is the culture, and especially the opera, which very rarely comes back. Yeah, when you cut money for that, it's almost gone. Yeah, forever. I think that and it was also before, but the staging has more and more importance, which is very good, but also the appearance is more and more important, and that's good and not good, because first of all, it's opera, so you need to be able to sing, yeah, also to look good, but sing first. Sing well first. I think that the new generation should fight to keep this vocal art alive, not to. A lot of people I was talking with were afraid that the opera is in danger, is going to disappear. Well, I hope not. I hope not, because if I can make one person cry in the room, then I won. I think that they should fight a lot to maintain the live performances. CD and streaming and that's wonderful. I mean, we would have been lost without it in the pandemic time. But there is nothing, really nothing comparing to the atmosphere and vibration and the sparkling that you get in a concert hall, in an opera hall. It is that thing between the singers, the artists, and the public, which can happen only live. That connection is different there. It's wonderful to listen to a CD. That's not a CD anymore. A CD is already old. But to a recording.
I use the word tape. Can you believe that?
Oh,
Somebody looked at me very strange. What is it?
What is a tape?
Is there still a tape?
Oh my God, what should I say? It's wonderful, but it's not the same. It's really not the same. So I think it's worth it fighting for this, to keep this alive.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I don't think there's anything that compares to being in that room and seeing the performers. And I do feel like the pandemic really did show us how important live performances are. So hopefully now that we're coming back, that creates a momentum.
Yeah. The first time the theaters opened, that it was,
crazy. Yeah. And in essence,
they were hungry for the performance, to be there live, to feel it, to see if something happens. Oh my God, that drop something on stage. Oh, what is there? All those things which make us go crazy because something goes wrong, but it's interesting.
Actually, we have a question from the public. Maria Alejandra Solano. She's an AdE mentee, wonderful soprano in person. Hi, Maria Alejandra. So she asks, did you feel you had a special breakthrough in your career, like a very special moment that made you feel like you made it?
I think in my first steps, I think when I won I'm not sure. I might have had later. First time I thought, oh my God, there's a chance. It was when I got the private scholarship from Sir Georg Scholti. When it just a new world opened for me, because it was the first time that I went out of communist Romania. And that was a huge opportunity that I cannot even express for a young artist what that means, to work with Scholti and to try to keep calm and to try to do everything what he wants from you, to show him that you can do everything. Then the second time, I think it was when I won the Belvedere and several prizes, when I thought, okay, now agencies, there were a lot of agents here, now it should come. And then it was Glyndebourne. But actually, the one who really was a catapult even more was my debut with Butterfly. conducted from Maestro Bruno Bartoletti, and the regie was Renata Scotto, which showed me,
What a dream team, right?
oh yeah, that was you don't know where to look first, you know. And I was like a sponge. I just, and I thought I knew a lot, and then I realized that I have no clue about some stuff. So I cannot say it is once. For me, it was in steps. It was more and more and more and more, and then another world opened for me when I met Bob Wilson. When I met, it's another perspective on a piece with another aesthetic, and Andreas Homoki, and it's for which of one of them I discovered something new, and I thought, okay, that's it. So I hope I answered the question.
You answered beautifully, and I'm really sorry we missed the question, Alejandro, because since Miss Nitescu is mentioning the conductors and the stage directors, Alejandro would like to ask you something about them. We missed it in the beginning.
Oh yes. Oh yes, you're right. I'm so sorry. I totally skipped that question. So coming back to, the beginning of your career, you were blessed to be working with many top-notch conductors and stage directors that guided you through your career, and I wanted to know which were the ones that inspired you the most.
Some of them I already said.
Uh-huh.
First of all, I have to mention my teacher, because she's the one who polished and showed me the path. And when I was a little bit too much going left, and then no, this is not good for you, you do this and you do this. Of course I didn't like it. I have a strong personality, and she also were two Capricorns. So you can imagine. But I adore her, and she became later not she was not only my mentor, but she became also my how do you say that in English, my godmother. For us, I'm Orthodox, and for us it's not a godmother always only for the baptized, but also for the wedding,
Like a witness.
Yes,
Yes.
but it's a more important
I am Greek and I know what you mean. Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
So she was she still is, and I still talk to her and ask her opinion about things. So she was the one who actually made the raw artist, maybe not raw, but the first, this is the first take. Sholti, yeah, that was for me huge opportunity, and I think I was so lucky, because I went to Cardiff Singer of the World, and I didn't win a prize, but I think I won more. For me, was that more than the prize. Maestro Bartoletti, who absolutely adored me and absolutely adored him. Renata Scotto showed me, God, so much of a butterfly, how you walk, how you don't walk so that you don't open the with your feet, you don't open the kimono. Why do you do this? Well, it's not the stereotype we think about Japanese. It's a whole bunch of things that they have an answer and a reason why they don't do it, why we don't do it. There are so many that I am afraid to miss someone. Bob Wilson, who showed me how not to move on stage. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
how static, and I learned through him a lot about my body, about controlling my body. Fire from Andreas Homoki, with whom I did my Michaela, and a part which I was not so crazy about in the beginning, because everybody was thinking that Michaela is, well, Michaela, and it was fire. It was fire pure. Zubin Mehta, Seiji Osawa, with whom I did a Butterfly in Tokyo. That was one dream come true, to sing Butterfly in Japan.
Where they say that you're more convincing than a Japanese as Butterfly. What a
I don't
compliment.
know. I don't know if it's more convincing, but they bought it.
Yeah, that's a crucial thing here. Yeah.
Oh my God, John Elliott Gardiner. John Elliott Gardiner was Manon Lescaut in Glyndebourne. So many.
Endless list.
Yeah, Muti. Oh my God, how can I forget Riccardo Muti, which when I was in the Scala, it was just Christoph Eschenbach. It never ends. It's a huge list, and I think I was very privileged to be able to work with such artists. Each one of them contributed to my blooming as an artist. With everyone brought something to my personality, taught me something, showed me something new, and I am really very, very happy.
It's like a piece of art that the artist, the sculptor, for example, works for years. We hear for the ancient sculptures in Greece, ancient Greece, that they worked for years to accomplish the perfection. So this is what we are describing, that it takes years and it takes the mastery of many masters to be absorbed in order to give this perfection. And that is a beautiful, very artistic aspect that you are giving us, and we thank you very much for this. And with this, unfortunately, very unfortunately, Alejandra has to go on. Sorry, to the last question for today,
Of course.
which is rather a pleasant one, a very pleasant one.
Yes, I like this question.
I'm curious
So,
now. Very curious. Okay.
so what are some of your interests outside of singing, and how has incorporating downtime and cultivating these hobbies helped you maintain the intensity of your operatic career?
Oh, I wish I would have more time. I would have had more time to do everything I like. First of all, spending time with my husband, and we always went out in the nature, because we like being in the nature. You are so much in the hotels and in the apartments, and of course we traveled a lot, and we saw maybe not all the world, but almost. But most of the time we knew perfectly the path from the hotel to the theater and back. And afterwards, of course, we had time to have a look at the cities and everything, and have some culture. For example, we needed a lot of a couple of years, well, no more than a couple of years, to see the Louvre, because you don't get it in 3 days or in 1 week, not even. Yeah. So being out in the nature. I love cooking for my friends. Every time we were coming back from productions and we had a little bit time at home, even together, of course, together is more fun. We threw big parties and invited all our friends, and I cooked, and it's I don't know, it's, yeah. I don't know if I would say meditation, but it's
Cooking is like meditation, right? In a way.
Yeah, in a way. I don't know, but it's kind of grounded me, and it's creative also. It's a lot. You need to be creative, and it's pleasure, and it's relaxation, and of course cooking for friends. Pressure. You don't have to be the best or whatever. You just have to enjoy it. And I love entertaining people, and I love cooking and baking. Oh, baking maybe is more meditation than cooking
Okay.
for me.
Mhm. The problem with me is I can't wait until it gets baked.
Oh, the
takes
problem with
time.
me is that I eat it. So I need a lot of friends to get rid of it, because otherwise it's a disaster. I love antiquing, going on antique markets, antique messes. How do you say antique markets? Yeah,
Exhibitions of antiques.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love those to see what they were doing in those times, and even to discover some pieces I wouldn't know what they're made for. So to try to guess, sometimes we found people to tell us what it is, because we didn't realize it's a very beautiful, very nice object, but you don't know what you do with it, what was it made for. And also the beauty of the old things. I like it very much. And decorating. I move all the time in my house, in my apartment, and I decorate, and I place, and I take it from there, and I put it there, and I can spend hours with that, and it keeps me calm. Every time I am kind of nervous or stressed, or if I cannot fall asleep, I think of how I would redecorate my house.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a maximum 10 minutes, I'm gone.
You have many beautiful hobbies, and you prove us that an operatic artist can be a very down-to-earth person with many interests, a warm personality. A soprano can be really so normal like you and so down-to-earth, a famous soprano actually. And you have so many facets in your personality that it's very, very interesting for us to follow you as you speak. And I hope it was for our audience as well. We have some enthusiastic comments for you, and they thank you for the interview and what you said, what you advised them. And Alejandra, do you have something else to ask before we leave for today?
Just a comment. I absolutely love everything that you shared with us, and I really appreciate how honest you are with everything that you've shared with your journey, with your advice. Because I know that so many, and I don't want to say just young singers, because people everywhere in their career, I'm sure, took something from this interview with all the questions that we covered. So I really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a huge pleasure to be here and to have a conversation with you.
I have to say that it was really nice for me to do this for the first time. I'm very excited for being able to be with a person and touch the person and not be in a cold screen. It's really wonderful, and I hope that we will have others like this in the future.
Yes.
I would like to, before I thank you with a very big thanks, I would like to thank this young lady, which is really incredible. We are doing these interviews together lately, and she's very supportive. She runs an amazing platform that empowers young people, and despite the fact that she's traveling and studying and singing on her own, she works on it every day with such passion. I really admire you, Alejandra, and I thank you very much for being my partner today.
Thank you so much. No, I'm so happy for this partnership. I was telling Ms. Nitescu, I was telling Maria that we're like woman power team. It makes me so happy to work with her.
Yeah,
exactly. And we would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for sharing all this wisdom with us, for being here, for giving us from your precious time, and for really saying big truth.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here and for the invitation. It was a huge pleasure.
We can shake hands for thank you. For first time we shake hands.
Yeah.
Thank you very much once again. Thank you. A big thanks to Alejandra. A big thanks to our audience who is here every time, both in the United States, which is quite early for Sunday, and in Europe. We love you, and we thank you very much for your support. We wish you all to stay well and be with us the next time with another very interesting guest that we will announce shortly. And now my wish is to play a video with Miss Nitescu singing that we created the previous time, and unfortunately Facebook had to cut because of intellectual property issues. But please, Facebook, don't do that again, because we have the permission of the artist for a non-for-profit use, educational purposes. So I hope that this time it works. So big hug from us in Berlin and from Alejandra. Alejandra, bye, my dear.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.